Adonai hori veishi mimi.
Orthodox Judaism, unlike many may believe, is not a unified movement with a single governing body, but instead it is many different movements obeying to the common principles of Judaism. In fact, all of the Orthodox movements are very similar in their observation and beliefs and have a strong dedication to the Torah, both written and oral. And the only differences between the movements are 1. The details the individual movements emphasize, 2. The attitudes they have toward modern culture, and 3. The opinions they have about the state of Israel. Now let's move on to the history behind the religion of Orthodox Judaism. The actual term Orthodox Judaism is primarily found only in North America and is of recent origin and is used mostly as a generic term to distinguish the movements that follow the traditional Jewish practices from liberal Jewish movements. It began in Germany in 1876 and was originally started as a way to speak out about modern Reform Judaism. Followers of this movement rejected the notion introduced by the Reform that, according to modern thought in Western society, Judaism required to be reformed. And now, an important thing to know about these traditional Jewish followers is that followers of the Orthodox Judaism believe that both the written and oral Torah are of divine origin and represent the Word of God, which is very similar to the conservative movement, the only difference being that Orthodox Judaism movement believers think that such information in the Torah is the exact Word of God and does not represent any human creativity or influence at all. And to say that Judaism needs to be reformed is like telling the followers of the Orthodox Judaism belief that God has changed his mind on his word and wants the Torah to say something just a little bit different. To give a simple distinction between Orthodox Judaism and those of Reform or conservative Judaism, Reformed Judaism believes that the conditions of modern life demand relaxation of the traditional Sabbath laws. Orthodox Judaism believes in no relaxation at all and complete following of the Sabbath laws, while conservative Judaism allows some relaxation if it can be defended on the halakhic grounds, which compromises the practical application of the commandments in the Torah. Speaking of the Torah, let's cover some information on it. The term Torah itself in the Orthodox law means written law, and in the broadest sense, the whole body of Jewish law and teachings. Some religions, such as Christianity, may know and abide by these teachings as the Old Testament. However, to the Jewish faith, there is no Old Testament because they do not believe in what Christians call the New Testament. In addition to written scriptures, there is also what is known as an oral Torah. Orthodox Jews believe that God taught the oral Torah to Moses and he taught it to others, and that this is how it has traveled to present day. This tradition was maintained until about 2D century CE, when the oral law was then compiled and written down in a document known today as the Mishnah. Within the next few centuries, additional commentaries further explaining the Mishnah were written down, and these were called the Germa, and the Germa and the Mishnah together are known as the Talmud. Now that we're familiar with the basic concepts of Orthodox Judaism, let's dive a little deeper into this fascinating religion. Now, there are about 13 principles of belief that are basic to all Judaism beliefs. These 13 principles of faith were condensed by the great scholar Rabbi Moses Maimonides. And according to Maimonides, whoever doesn't believe in the following 13 principles of faith is not considered a Torah-observing Jew. These beliefs include 1. That God exists, 2. God is one and unique, 3. God is intangible, 4. God is eternal, 5. Prayer is to be directed to God alone and no others, 6. The words of the prophets are true, 7. Moses' prophecies are true, 8. The written Torah, or the first 5 books of the Bible, and the oral Torah were given to Moses, 9. There will never be another Torah, 10. God knows the thoughts and deeds of all men, 11. God will reward the good and punish the wicked, 12. The Messiah will come, and finally, 13. The dead will be resurrected. All Jews, including Orthodox Jews, follow a monotheistic religion where they only believe in one God. They also fully believe in creation, and many ultra-Orthodox won't even acknowledge the theory of evolution, while modern Orthodox, like ones today, will acknowledge it but not accept it. Now, many people wonder what Jews believe about afterlife. Afterlife plays a major role in the life of an Orthodox Jew. One of the core beliefs is that for every action on earth by humans, they will be rewarded or punished in the world to come. In this world to come, there is what is known as Gan Eden, or paradise, and Gehinnom, or hell. Simply put, if a person did more deeds than sins, they go to Gan Eden, and if a person's sins are greater than his deeds, then he goes to Gehinnom. Sometimes a person has to go to Gehinnom to rid himself of sin before he or she can enter Gan Eden. The work of an Orthodox Jew is overall to prepare himself in present day to be able to enter another paradise. Another question one might have about Orthodox Judaism is, what do they believe about Jesus? And the answer is, they don't believe in Jesus. They believe that God is the one and only, and that no human action or traits can be related to him. They trust that Moses was the greatest prophet, and that no other prophet can come later and change his words. They believe that the Messiah has still not come. And another important belief of Orthodox Judaism is that they believe that they are the chosen nation. They think it is their duty to be the light for all nations and glorify and bring respect to the great name of Hashem, or otherwise known as God. Now that we have covered the main beliefs of Judaism, let's check out the main holidays. The first holiday is Rosh Hashanah, the traditional Jewish New Year, mentioned in the Torah as the Feast of Trumpets. Traditionally, it celebrates the creation of the world, or more specifically, the creation of man on the sixth day of creation. And the second holy day, known as Yom Kippur, and the most important day of the year, is the Day of Atonement in the Jewish calendar. On this day, in biblical times, the high priest was allowed to enter Holy of the Holies in the temple, bringing with him 2 goats. 1 goat he would confess the sins of Israel with, and then send it into the wilderness to die as a scapegoat. And the second goat was sacrificed on the altar, and the blood of the goat was sprinkled on the Ark of the Covenant, and the atonement was made from the whole nation of Israel only in 1 day. Along with the special holidays that celebrate the Jewish faith, there are also special days that celebrate rites of passage for young men and women. These are called bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. A Jewish boy automatically becomes a bar mitzvah upon reaching the age of 13 years old, and a girl becomes a bat mitzvah when reaching the age of 12. The boys celebrate this coming of age during Shabbat services on Saturday, shortly after the child's 13th birthday. This celebrant is called up to the Torah, where he recites a blessing over the weekly reading. In the Orthodox practice, however, women are not permitted to participate in a religious service in the same way men are. At a bat mitzvah, it's usually only celebrated with no more than a small party. Now let's move on to talk about the sacred places and spaces of Orthodox Judaism. The Orthodox community centers around 2 religious institutions, one being the shul, or synagogue, and the other being the yeshiva, or Torah study house. Now, Orthodox synagogues are typically modest structures with absolutely no iconography, which means there are no pictures or decorations that represent the movement or group of people that worships in this synagogue. Here is where daily worship takes place, as well as religious rites and ceremonies. The daily worship of Orthodox Jews includes praying 3 times a day and constantly praising and thanking God through mandatory blessings. And that's a wrap for all the facts and background on Orthodox Judaism. Thank you.